TSM has looked like the best team of the DPC, so you know they're up against a wall.
Yep, that is a wall indeed. All right, the good luck, have fun's come out. We see a smoke already for TSM.
Don't remember learning this one.
See if they can catch anybody right off the bat. It looks like Arteezy is in the general area, still hugging the tier 2 though, so unlikely to find it. He is actually hands off keyboard right now. That's interesting. And yeah, they don't obviously see him quite yet. Put down a ward though, and getting back in position. So yet another Medusa game for Arteezy. I feel like this is gonna...
That's why he's hands off keyboard.
This is the thing
bored.
Again, small brain here, Jenkins. Yeah. This is the thing about EG that I don't like. And I don't think it's gonna work out. What the... Is this live? There's no way this is live.
That's not live. That's production.
But anyway, back to the discussion. EG, they're picking these heroes that they're almost taunting the enemy with, oh, please counter, right?
Yeah, they are.
But they're also picking the same, like, I know that they're pubbing other heroes, they're probably scrimming other heroes, but a lot of their official matches are on the same heroes.
Yeah, they
Don't you think that that is a bad thing?
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Like,
they keep going to majors. They keep going to every major. But they're getting second place at most of them. What can you say?
To be fair, that was a totally different lineup. And they were picking one hero that was the same all the time.
Yeah, but this is always Bulba. I mean, it's always with Bulba. So,
yeah.
I don't know. It works, I guess.
It's the hat. They have to worship the hat.
Yeah.
That's what does it.
It's got something to do with that for sure.
All right, so brother versus brother. Ember Spirit versus Storm Spirit. Would you take Storm in this matchup?
Yeah, traditionally this is Storm favored. I mean, Ember in the game is okay against Storm because you have the instant disable, long range disable for him. You can root him. But in the lane, Storm can pretty easily take off the shield.
Okay. And the bot lane, you see Arteezy obviously on the Medusa. I've said that about 1,000 times. Saberlight this time playing the Tidehunter though. And the one that I'm more interested in is this top lane because we mentioned last game the whole Nightfall, or the first game I guess, Nightfall just winning the lane consistently and being top net worth on a Mars. Will that happen this game though?
I think so. I mean, they've rotated.
You think really? That confident? Huh?
Well, they put the Jakiro in this lane, so I think they draft to win his lane. I think he's really exceptional at laning. A lot of carry players are, even when they switch roles. Yeah, Jakiro versus Tia. I mean, that's like a counter matchup if it's a mid matchup, right? So
yeah.
You know, they're gonna have about the same levels up here. I think.
Okay. Oh, we're gonna see a shackle from Moon Meander, and the gush to follow with a big wand from Crit into the Fairy Fire. Moon Meander's taking a lot of damage. Has to Fairy Fire himself as well. Everybody will live and reset. Top lane. Oh, mid lane actually. Bryle's getting quite low. He's sitting on 5-0 CS versus the 9-3 from Abed as Nightfall gets nightmared. Don't think they're going to have enough damage quite yet with that dual breath from Jerax. Dubu continuing to chase. Nightfall probably gets salved here in just a moment. And the water runes have spawned. Very exciting stuff. Oh, he's actually bringing out the Tango and the salve from Nightfall. Interesting.
Huh.
Okay, so buying a lot of regen. That's a lot more regen than he's, at least I feel like in the past couple games we've watched.
Usually you would like to. I mean, I think it's because he's rushing a Helm of Ironwill in this game instead of going for the traditional like bracer rush that we see with most offlaners. So he feels like he needs a bit more regen to bridge the gap to get to that item.
Right.
So the question is, why is he going for the Helm of Ironwill this game? The answer is it's the TA. TA minus armor. It makes him a lot stronger than bracers will.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Yep. It's a good value item. Gives some HP regen as well.
Even went for his Bulwark level 2 actually, just to sustain in the lane.
Saberlight getting chased out. Doesn't look like Arteezy will find the range though. And Mystic Snake not there in time. And getting hooked back up by Crit.
It's so nice having an IO. You can just tank like 5 towers and still be fine.
15-1 CS for Arteezy and 8-3 for Tomato. So Tomato, yeah, this is actually not going very well at all. You can see the refraction being taken off by Jerax there.
They picked this.
Nightfall's he's dominating again.
Yeah, they picked this into Jakiro. So they knew that this was gonna happen, and they're confident that they can maybe go jungle, or maybe they thought the lane was gonna go better, but like they knew this was coming.
Stupendous.
Yeah, it is interesting. And I mean, there's another line of thought that we haven't really talked about. I'm not saying that either team is not taking this game seriously, but there's a lot less on the line, right? Because they both made it to the major. Is there any possibility of hiding strats, or I don't think that's the case, but it's something
I don't think
probably has happened at some point.
But I think there are going to be players, at least on the individual teams, that feel a lot less pressure. This is nice blocking from Crit. Getting that.
This might be first blood. Moon Meander, resigned to it. Arteezy gets it. Extra gold for the position 1 on EG. Oh, all right. Saberlight won't die. Still has that ring of health and ring of regen, in fact, so just has to stay at arm's length.
EG is dumpstering lanes. That is shocking.
Yep, they are the lane. So this is the thing I thought.
Oh, the bird!
What is that spell called from the bird?
I don't know. Who cares?
We'll find out soon. Well, I have to call it something. It's not a tornado,
I'll go click.
right? Yeah.
No, wait. We have to. Oh,
No,
there's another
it's
one.
hurricane.
Hurricane.
Wow. Okay. A hurricane into a spear.
Yeah, I don't think Nightfall was going for that. I think he's just trying to last hit the bird. The bird's like, well, here's a bang.
That's really good. I'm starting to like these creep changes more and more.
Yeah.
Just from the viewer, like when playing it, maybe not so much, but watching.
What can you do, brother?
Very nice.
Getting chain lightning to death is not.
Yeah. Not so great. You can see Arteezy getting quite low, but there is crit with the heals to come and the salve to follow. Arteezy is perfectly fine now.
This is I mean, the dumb thing about IO is just that no matter what lane you're in, no matter who you're with, you will make it so that they win the lane. I mean, you're not going to stomp, you're not going to necessarily get kills, but you're always going to be able to sustain. Like, you're going to farm. So you pick it, you run it with Medusa, which is a little weird. I mean, 2 ranged heroes, but works perfectly fine. Lets you throw this Jakiro in the off lane.
Yeah.
Dumpster Tomato. He's having such a
Oh,
great
wow.
line.
Another dual breath hits. Yeah. Rough stuff. As it looks like mid lane, we have Bryle getting gone on, but Abed will be able to get this rune. It's actually a haste
And
rune
he gets
as
it.
well.
That is
very nice.
very convenient.
Yeah.
Haste.
He's going to pop it right away just to get back in lane. Let's see if he wants to go anywhere.
I mean, it looks like he's doing something with it because he didn't. He's
Yeah,
not backpacking
he's
his
farming.
nulls. He's actually farming with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's worried backpacking his nulls because of the Rasta that's nearby.
We see a TP coming in from TSM. Moon Meander. Going to get double bulwark. Or rebuked, I should say. Going to get stunned after the fact. Nightfall extremely tanky, but here comes Abed. Pace is already down, and wow, that is a super easy kill. Spear way off the mark, but it really doesn't matter. EG finds the 2 kills nonetheless.
With the catapult too, they don't. They're okay. He is protecting it.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird timing. Like he wants to, but it's just they're all a little too low. Yeah, I mean. That's one of those scenarios where if you do try to be greedy there and tank a bunch of shots, like you could just actually feed.
All right, I want to go back to this discussion.
Which one?
They're picking the same heroes all the time.
Oh my.
Because this is where it becomes a very bad thing. Okay, if this happens, let's say, because I was going to talk about how I'm interested to see on a LAN setting how EG like their lanes go against other teams internationally, right?
Sure.
Because yeah, they'll lose against TSM from time to time. In fact, TSM has had the better of them for the most part, but EG still wins all the lanes. So that's going to be the interesting factor going on to LAN. But if they're picking the same heroes, let's say just in theory they win the major. What happens when teams win the major? Their stuff gets nerfed. What's going to get nerfed? The 2 heroes that they pick every single game, right? Then what? You know what I mean? You've spent all this time playing the same heroes. That is a thing to look for potentially as Dubo gets killed off.
You know, if you're planning on what to do when you win the major, it's kind of like a suffering from success sort of scenario there.
Yeah, but we've seen it historically that
what am I
happens.
gonna do with my millions of dollars? I don't know.
I mean, OG won 4 majors, right?
Hire another coach. They'll tell you how to play other heroes. Take the $1 million that you made.
Yeah, well, that's not so easy sometimes. As Moon Meander goes down, Bryle, his shield's going to go off pretty shortly. Gets off the Sleight of Fist, but he's surrounded. Gets off the Remnant, which was already up, making that a little bit more exciting than it should have been. We'll TP back now. A free trip, that bottle. Dandelion Esport Club. Probably the best name. Shout out to them.
What can you do, brother?
I don't like dandelions. They make me sneeze.
Looking at you makes me sneeze.
Makes you belch. I know that's a
more
fact.
modern approach, but yeah, sure. 3K lead for EG. Again, winning the laning stage big time. This is a little bit bigger than normal. It's Abed. He's going to run right into Bryle. He gets sheeped. But he's actually going to take the bounty rune as well.
Oh, no. That's not what you want. That's
Yeah.
not it.
He's getting chased. I don't know if Bryle's going to be able to do much here, though. We see the 3 nulls, has his treads coming out in about 100 gold, and the tier 1 tower is taken out top. EG is just getting everything.
Yeah, they really are. And Jarex went for a 3-0-2 build, so he's got some extra tower damage with the liquid fire. He's doing a ton of damage with the dual breath. If they ever hunt the TA through the jungles, he's actually going to be able to peel through her refraction and do a ton of damage. But they do see him here. I mean, I feel like he always does this no matter what hero he's on.
Yep.
Just the, like, poking his head in alone. It's like, come on, go on me. I'm right here. I'm a juicy support. And then
And
you
he's
do
usually playing a hero that has
a way of
some way of tankiness,
yeah,
right?
yeah, or fast.
Jakiro,
Like Pugna.
yeah, Jakiro is a little less on that side, but still to some degree. Bryle, he's getting gone on, but Dubu is here to try and save. Bryle won't need it though. Nightmare to start. And the regen is going to be taken. So Abed, another rune for him.
The dream.
Yeah, nobody can take or make better work of a regen than a Storm Spirit. Going to get a lot of farm from this. Doesn't look like they're going to try to gank anywhere unless they're setting up some sort of relocate play right now with this regen. But yeah, looks like it's just for farming. As I say that, he's farming a watermelon. Can he take off the regen? He's certainly going to die, but no. Abed is good to go. As we see a Mars Arena in the top area.
Oh my god.
That leads to a Bryle kill.
Dude, that
EG are stomping.
that combination of heroes is not supposed to be killing an Ember right now. Oh boy.
And here comes Abed again. He seems to be everywhere. That's partially because of that regen, partially because of IO. 8-0. TSM, they look like Quincy Crew versus EG. It's almost like we're replaying the same game.
It's like we're replaying the same camera shots too. I mean, this is exactly the same.
Yeah, he does look the same as
He looks
about an
happy.
hour ago.
He looks happy though. I'm glad to see. He looks like he's having a good time.
I mean, you first 2 pick Storm Medusa and you're winning.
And you're winning, yeah. That's pretty.
I mean, what's better than that? Bryle respawns and is going to end up dying here, it looks like. Stone Gaze is popped, and that's going to stun Moon Meander, who does get off his ultimate this time into the shackle. All right, Abed's getting a pretty low Nightmare to try and save Moon Meander. Looks like it'll be successful, but Abed still walks away.
Good discipline from EG, walking away from that. There is 0 mana on 3 heroes and 0 HP on crit, so that's the best time to get out. You've used all of your resources. Why not back off after you force the enemy team to use
Like
their...
good discipline when they're like, no HP, no mana. What else are you supposed to do? You say teams just go in and die?
Yeah,
What kind of comment was that? Good discipline,
listen,
using
man.
common sense to get out.
Listen, would you have backed out there? I mean, you'd be...
No, I'm an idiot, though.
Well, so am I.
Dubu, well, yeah, that's his pro career in a nutshell there as Abed and company get another kill, and again off camera.
Solo kill.
Nightfall with a solo kill. Top 3 net worth in the game are all the cores of EG. And they're going to get this tier 1, so this is going to end up being a 6K net worth lead for EG.
I mean,
It's basically 6K, I swear.
think the spookier thing is that Saberlight is the top net worth on TSM FTX. Like your watermelon.
Yeah, that's true.
He's duking it out, but you really want your TA to be like top net worth right now, farming Ancients.
Yeah, Illusion spotting this out. It's not a huge stack. I think it's a triple.
Yeah, it's a triple.
Obviously, Tomato will take it. See the stacks coming out. Arteezy has stacked 4 of his own camps. Wow.
It's a good boy.
That is.
His team is too busy killing everyone.
That's true.
It's another game where he's just doing nothing. That's why he's smiling so much. He's doing nothing.
Saberlight pops the hood. He's going to be pretty hard to kill. And they have heroes coming in the area as well. Smoked. We'll see if EG stick around. Again, TSM have yet to get a kill in this game.
Can they sniff it out? They don't want to go for Jerax. They see him there.
Yep, you can Saberlight. All right, uses the horsey. Might have to leave crit. Gets off the tether though, and
wow.
Moon Meander. He's gonna get zipped on, but instant hex into the Fiend's grip. Crit, trying to save his brother in arms. Actually, not that much damage really done to Abed. He's perfectly fine.
Nobody
My, oh
else
my.
nobody else was in position for that.
And the wards were not in range to even attack.
They will be clearing a creep wave in 10 seconds. Oh, no, they won't.
Yeah, they'll be farming this instead. This will be the 6K lead, surely.
Yeah, and
We've
now
been right on the edge here.
Jerax and Nightfall, they've been a ganking duo this whole game, and they are smoked up.
Nightfall gets the Arcane Rune, just looking for a reason to use his arena. Gets off the spear, will be successful in pinning Bryle. Abed is there with the stun lock, and that is, oh! All right, Bryle actually gets out, but that's in the vicinity of Jerax. Doesn't look like he'll find the kill, or will he actually clips him with the Ice Wall? Are you kidding me? Jerax!
That was insane. He camped the Remnant, too.
And Tomato, he's looking to get the second kill from TSM, as it looks like they were able to at least secure Nightfall.
I mean, who gives a shit, dude? That was awesome. He did. That is just another day.
Is that like mid-zip? Is that how it worked? I have to watch that one again. That was a nice kill.
He camped the Remnant. He uses his Q when he uses the Remnant. And then on the next Remnant, he chain stuns. He uses so he basically predicted 2 Remnants there and solo kills as effectively the position 5. We get it from his perspective. Yeah, so that's on the second Remnant, by the way. That what we just saw right there. He had already camped the first Remnant, and that was predicted. So yeah, that was insane. I mean, he goes down here. It just doesn't matter. Like, this is such a huge rotation. You still lose your mid laner. That is not good from TSM FTX.
Yep. Although they did come back a bit. They did gain 1,000 off of that. That just shows how much EG is up by right now. As Moon Meander gets zipped on. Saberlight uses the Horsey, but doesn't have any mana. Pops the wand in the arena to follow, and that's just going to end up being a free kill. Nightmare delays it a bit, but EG will still get what they want, which is a kill on the Saberlight. Now the question is, do they have enough to Roche at a high rate?
Should be. I mean, they have tons of slows. Mars doing pretty good physical damage. I think they all have to hit, but...
Okay, let's see if they lose 2,000. All right, went from 5K to 4K. If it goes down to 3K, then there's something about this pit.
I don't know. I mean, 2 heroes are dead. Who's farming?
I don't know.
It might go down for like a second and then the Roche kill.
And we'll see.
Yeah,
TSM looking like they want to try to contest. Sleight of Fist comes out. Remnants to follow, but Abed ends up getting the Aegis anyway. And EG with the Roche kill. And that leads to a Bryle death. Good attempt from TSM, but it's not going to result in anything other than their graves. That was super close.
It was very close. Yeah.
And that could have been a potential turnaround for TSM. I mean, they are down by quite a bit.
Yep. One tower advantage. I mean, Tomato's still farming. He's coming back in the farm. We'll see if he can burst somebody in the next couple of fights.
Sleight of Fist, and you can see the Remnant just a quarter second too late. So close. Man. Unfortunate for TSM.
Very quick at spam clicking that too. That's like a clicking battle at that point.
I mean, I'm assuming pro players have that thing enabled where you just right click to...
No, because it's got a limit on it, so it's actually slower than like you could click if you're fast.
What do you mean has... Oh.
It only does like,
really?
yeah, it's like 10 times per second or something. But if you really spam click, you can do a lot more than that.
I see.
If you're really if you're lazy or slow fingers, then it is better for you.
Right, up, Arena, Tomato actually dodges a decent amount of it. A nice Nightmare comes out from Dubu. And you can see Tomato pops the BKB. Do they have any damage to follow it up with? The Aegis is down. Nice drop from Tomato. If they can get out, this is pretty decent. Ravage comes in, clips 2. That is a dead Storm Spirit. TSM getting a very high value kill, the best kill they found all game. Arteezy trying to save. All right, he actually pops the Stone Gaze. They still want to fight. Nightfall comes in. Moon Meander's dead right off the bat. Bryle is next, gets off the Sleight of Fist, but dies shortly after. And even without the Storm Spirit, EG feeling very confident.
Oh, Dubu watched it.
Oh, that's the item. He got it.
He's like, it's too important. I'm not losing it.
What item was it?
It was a bullwhip.
Very important item.
Yeah, he got the item. He's good. He's got the item.
Good boy.
Dude, that's a position 5 thing to do. It's just it's like you see an item, it drops, and it's like, oh no, that's a bullwhip. That's a pos 5 item. I got to get that one.
Yep.
It's for him to whip his cores.
That's true. It's a form of communication as Moon Meander TPs in, gets off the Hex. Saberlight still in the area, but no Ravage to work with. They should be able to get the Jakiro, but here comes the zip from Abed, focusing on Moon Meander, and that's going to be an easy one. And Crit links up with Jerax, and this is a disaster for TSM. Bryle not quite pinned to the tree, so gets off the Sleight of Fist. Now the aggression from TSM as EG trying to posture a bit. Looks like the Rebuke's not going to do too much. Tomato pops the BKB, focusing on Nightfall, but again, crit with the tether. Now Arteezy limping away. Very drawn-out fight. There's a zip-in again from Abed. There's the arena. It's been such a long fight. This feels like the second arena, basically. And this leads to 2 quick kills in favor of EG. And Saberlight left kind of to his own devices. Brow still with a full HP, full mana, but not much on cooldown. Abed still has a little bit of mana to work with. Bryle, sleight of fist, but there's the beautifully timed spear from Nightfall.
I mean, the value of Io in that fight, crit, that whole time that Jerax was getting gone on, by the way, it looked like he was going to go down, possibly.
Yeah.
He was holding 20 Holy Rocket charges. So he was actually baiting that. He only wanted to use it when it looked like somebody was going to go down. And then that made it so he was able to use his Holy Locket on Nightfall when he was using his Bulwark. And then there's even extra value there. And then he even had a second Holy Locket because of all of the charges that he got throughout the fight in order to use it right at the end there. So,
and again,
super value out of that IO.
This is a final pick, IO. Last pick.
Yeah.
Support.
Yeah.
And again, going back to what we said, picking a support last, you have a lot of options.
You do.
If you're picking your 2 cores first, if you feel confident that they can't really counter because you've all the bans.
Yeah.
So starting to see a little bit of EG's perspective.
The idea, yeah, it does make sense.
Saberlight trying to counteract this dewarding action from Jerax. Stone Gaze. Man, you can tell Arteezy really loves Jerax.
He does. He just, I mean, I also kind of feel like he just wants to get involved at this point because he's hitting creeps the whole game. That the one time he got to have a sick epic play was a turnaround with Stone Gaze. So he's like, oh yeah, let's go again. Come on, baby.
Position 1 mentality. Smoke up from TSM, but look at Arteezy. Must have been spotted out.
Oh, it's always Jerax.
And Jerax is going to tank the gank, and he's going to be perfectly happy with that. The tier 1 tower is going to be focused on for TSM. And even the wards expended. You can tell TSM desperate to find something going their ways. Scotty now online for Arteezy.
I mean, pretty important tower in the grand scheme of things. You'd love to have it taken by. I mean, you want to have it 10 minutes ago, maybe 5 more reasonably. But for the next Roshan, that's going to be so important. Like today alone, we've seen so many just like 5-man TPs mid into Roshan when a team has a tier 1 tower advantage in that lane. Like the game is going to be determined on the next Rosh, so that you definitely want that tower. I mean, it's still hard to fight with the 10k gold deficit.
Well, it's going to be decided. If EG gets it, it's decided. If TSM gets it,
it's even.
It gives them a. Well, I wouldn't say it's even,
hey,
but
I mean,
it'll give them a better opportunity.
Well, it's an ag shard, Rosh.
It's very good. Yeah. You're saying a 10k lead if they get second Rosh, it's even. I don't think so.
Close to even.
You really think so?
I think so.
Rosh is worth 10k to you, huh? Interesting.
It may not 10k.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's why I'm just looking at you.
5 to 7. I don't know, some number.
5 to 7.
Yeah, I mean the third Rosh, that one's worth like.
Well, it depends.
15.
It depends how good the refresher shard is if it drops,
or the Ag Scepter, or the Ag Shard.
The Ag Shard is probably more valuable on average. I mean, that's just literal free net worth as opposed to the Shard, which is a one-time use. Oh, we have the Ravage from Saberlight onto 2, but here comes Nightfall with a beautiful arena onto several heroes. Moon Meander looks like he's been the first to fall as the chase is now on. Stonegaze already popped. Tomato gets jumped on after the BKB ends. You can see Crit just healing up Arteezy. Tomato is donezo. That's the buyback from the IO, but it matters not as TSM just dropping like flies. Lots of tips
GG, that's it.
for Saberlight, and GG is called. EG today have looked like a far better team than everybody in North America. That was a Gabe and shellacking again.
That was a Gabe and shellacking. Both games. I mean, these are not supposed to be Gabe and shellackings between any of these teams.
This was supposed to be a tiebreaker for teams that are around the same skill, let's say.
These are the 3 pillars. But it's looking like 1 pillar and 2 tooth